Hey, thanks for joining me again. It's great to have you here. I'm Leanne Hughes, your host of this show, Podcasting on the Daily. And the focus on this one is a physical challenge, sort of building on episode 1, which is what's your misogi? Misogi is something that you're going to do that will challenge you personally, help you connect with yourself, renew your sense of, and if you look at, Stephen Covey talked about this, many people talk about when you look at your life, you look at it from different angles in terms of your physical health, your relationships, your work goals, spiritual, like all of that. And when you divide it up, like it's nice to have sort of, Misogis, I think, in various, like there's nice to have like one sort of central theme, which is like this podcast and podcasting daily, but I also have sort of supplementary things that'll make 2025 memorable for me. One is Chris and I looking at, we're going to go to Egypt this year. And so I've been looking at just watching YouTube videos around that. I'm starting to talk to people around that, looking at flights, set some flight alerts, thinking about the best time of year. And we're going to carve out that time and make it happen. I would have loved to have gone to Egypt earlier, and all the time you think, I'll just go when it's a bit more stable over there, but I just don't see that happening. And with the world and how it's moving and how just uncertainty is getting, there's more and more uncertainty every year as we go. I think 2025 is a good year to go. I mean, if not now, then when? That's like a travel and adventure type of misogi. And then there comes a physical one. And last year I did a marathon. It was my second marathon. I'm a very slow marathoner. Like I finished under 5 hours, but I just chug along like the little red caboose and that's fine. Like that's fine. This is what I want to talk about. Like sometimes a smaller goal is better than a better goal or a bigger goal. Because the inclination is I'll do a marathon faster, or I'll do a longer marathon, I'll do a major marathon, right? Like that. This is what I'm thinking to myself. And then it's like, Leanne, like there's so many things I could have improved with my performance from last year and even the training process. I was in a world of pain. My problem last year is that I just ran and I didn't do any strength. I didn't do any stretching. Then I would go get emergency massages that would just torture the heck out of me. And every time after a massage, I'm like, oh yeah, I'll definitely do more core work. I'll definitely get on that trigger ball more. And I didn't do that. And so that it's a real challenge for me. I find it much easier just to get up and go for a run. I find that enjoyable, like getting outside in the morning, getting that beautiful air, just getting that post-runner's high, having a coffee. I just love starting my day that way. That's easy. That's easy for me. And so the challenge is like actually pausing and doing the work that's going to make me better. I've reduced the goal for next year. I'm running the same Gold Coast course, but I've got to change my language. I'm doing the half marathon. My goal is to run faster kilometers and to build up my strength and my speed this year. So actually go fast rather than just chugging along at a slow pace that I could keep up forever. I want to actually go fast or faster. Here's how I commit to these types of goals. One is just by sharing it with you. I commit to it. I hate letting other people down. And while you could say, Leanne, you like get over that, I think you can use it for good. I use it for good. Because I tell other people I don't like letting them down, then I commit the goals to myself. That's how I make it work in a really sort of meta way. I signed up with Pat Carroll again. I've been working with Pat Carroll as a virtual running coach since 2014, I think. He helped me run my first half marathon. I was never a runner. I played netball at a pretty competitive level, played some international test matches for Papua New Guinea, which was really fun, and represented Queensland. But whenever I played netball, my thing was never around running. Like I was always trying to be smart and it was all about timing. I think that's actually quite accurate in terms of how I like to live my life as well, is kind of not around hard work. It's about being strategic and knowing when to play and when to dodge, timing, and when to hit it hard. So that was how I played the game of netball, was like that. But when it came to running, I was just doing the same thing, and I wasn't expanding my other areas of fitness, which are so important when it comes to building up speed, like hill training, high intensity interval training, the speed stuff, but also the core work, the stretching afterwards, the remedial work as well. And so what I said to Pat this year was, last year I was running 4 days a week. And what that meant was I'd run 4 days a week, and then on my rest days, I would just go for walks. Like I wouldn't actually do any strength stuff. And I said to Pat, this year, how about I just go to 3 days a week of running, and then on the other days I'm going to work up and do the actual strength and core work and everything else. Now, the first 2 weeks of the program, I kind of cheated a bit. Look, it was Christmas and it was quite social. So I was just running the 3 days a week and not doing anything on the rest days. This week, I've been really good doing the core work, doing the strength work, doing the foam rolling, and it's hurting, but I know it's going to be good in the long run. So it's just a call out, really around that less of a goal is more of a goal. I'm running half of the distance this year, but it is, again, more challenging for me because I'm going to have to start working on my weaknesses. I'm all about a strengths-based approach to everything, but sometimes you do need to focus on the things, because the strength stuff, I wasn't doing it last year, and I was injured quite a few times in my preparation for the marathon. And whenever I saw the physio, she's like, well, I was doing calf races. I could hardly do any. And she's like, Leanne, all a marathon is, it's just basically jumping on a single leg the whole way. Your legs, your core are the engine room. And the lesser goal is half the distance, but it's more of a goal because it is going to be more challenging for me. And I'm really feeling like a huge beginner actually doing this, which is crazy, thinking that, I've run a marathon this year. Like, surely I've got that muscle memory, but I just feel like I'm starting from scratch, trying to teach myself the right way of doing it. The strength is going to be very important when it comes to speed, and the whole goal is just try to get through this campaign uninjured, look after myself, take that time out as well. And so I'm curious for you, what does the less goal in theory mean, but more goal in practice look like for you? Thanks so much. Let me know, reach out on the socials, and I'll speak to you tomorrow.